Good day, everyone. On behalf of Mrs. and Mr. Paquet, I'd like to thank you for coming today to sharing their special day. I would firstly like to congratulate the newlywed couple and wish them all the best. My name is Jordy, and I've been friends with Stefaan for over 20 years. When I was asked to be Stefaan's best man for their wedding in June in Belgium, I pretended I couldn't make it because I'm not a big fan of speeching. So when they told me they would marry in Australia, there was no escaping this moment anymore. So I'd like to express my sincere gratitude to both of them for giving me the opportunity to embarrass myself before a group of people I have never met before. I became friends with Stefaan in the summer of 1994. Stefaan joined the football team I was playing in. At that time, we were going to the same school for about 4 years already, and although we both often played football on the playground, we never became friends until that summer. Stefaan originally joined our team to play in midfield. That wasn't really the ideal position for him in our team, so we tried him in every other possible position, but it turned out Stefaan was pretty hopeless in all positions, as I'm sure Elisabeth has discovered by now. So they ended up putting him where they put everyone as a last resort, in the back, right next to me. We were 15 years old back then, and all the exciting things in a teen's life were just about to start for us. And I think that timing made us become such close friends in such a short time, because we got to experience all of those things together. But make no mistake, there were obstacles on our way to true friendship, one of which I'd like to call Maria, more commonly known as Stefaan's mother. I had a feeling from the beginning that she didn't like me that much, and that feeling got confirmed pretty much every time I saw her for the coming 8 to 10 years. Luckily after that, I was finally able to say she accepted me. Still more like how you would eventually accept a mole or eczema, but it was progress nonetheless. It actually took another couple of years before I found out she always spoke highly of me in conversations with everyone else. Everyone else except me, apparently. I do understand Stefaan's mom a bit, because in the early years, she quite often discovered that we had a big night together, had been drunk together, chased the girls together, or drank a bottle of her favorite liquor too. Sorry, that was only me actually. Okay, I'll give her that one. Somehow, she figured it was always my fault, as I was always around when Stefaan did those things. And she's right. I was around when I got Stefaan home safely after he drank so much and felt so sick that I had to call an ambulance. Then there were the times I drove him home safely because he was drunk and I wasn't. I was also around a couple of times where he got in some kind of trouble and I functioned as a human shield between him and whoever he needed protecting from. So I guess the moral of this story is that there's obviously a thin line between getting someone constantly in trouble or actually being the reason he's still alive today. Over all those years of friendship, we had periods of time we didn't see each other much and other moments in our lives where we were able to hang out a bit more. One of those times we were able to see each other more was a couple of months before me, my wife Kathleen and our son Seppe moved to Australia. That was around the end of 2012. I had already stopped working to organize our upcoming move abroad and had quite some free time, so I occasionally traveled to the city Stefaan was working at the time to catch up over a beer or go out for dinner. That's where I first met Elisabeth. One of the first times I saw her, we all went out to a restaurant, and although I thought Elisabeth and I were getting along rather well, I must have said something wrong, because halfway through dinner, Elisabeth smashed her wine glass in pieces against my head. To this day she claims it was an accident, and I have no choice other than to take her word for it, because somehow that whole day is kind of a big blur to me. What else can I say about Elisabeth? Not much, to be honest, so I contacted one of her friends in Belgium to get some dirt. Sadly, I didn't get much gossip, but I did collect some fun facts. It is quite a miracle that Elisabeth turned up on time today, because apparently it takes several alarm clocks to get Elisabeth up in the morning. And the best of those alarm clocks is her mom, who often gave Elisabeth a call in the morning to remind her to get up. Even a trip to Paris was once delayed because Elisabeth left her friends waiting whilst she enjoyed an extra long sleep. So we can safely say Elisabeth is a very good sleeper. She proved that about 10 years ago when she and her friends were on Fraser Island and took a day trip with a big jeep on a very rocky road. Apparently, Elisabeth had a great nap and enjoyed listening to her friends telling how great the trip was. Like everybody who moves to Australia, Elisabeth must love the great outdoors, all the nature. But I'm sad to say it wasn't always like that. When she was younger, she once borrowed her dad's scooter and then she put diesel in it because that was the cheapest. And when she finally found out that was wrong, she solved it not that environmentally correct by putting the scooter upside down and letting the diesel run out. But seriously, if all the things I just mentioned are the worst I can find, I guess you can count your blessings, Stefaan. Since I've been married for over 3 years now, I'm obviously the expert, so I want to share one really good piece of advice with Stefaan and Elisabeth. I want to let them both know that marriage is a relationship where somebody will always be right. So in this case, you must be the other one, Stefaan. With or without those words of advice, I'm sure you will have a long and happy marriage together. Elisabeth, you have found a great partner in Stefaan, who has always been a good and loyal friend to me. Stefaan, you are punching clearly above your weight, but so am I, so well done. You are both generous, intelligent and passionate people. You are very well matched and lucky to have found each other. So finally, I'd like to thank you all for bearing with me. And if you have enjoyed listening to this speech as much as I have enjoyed writing it, then I think I really have to apologize. Ladies and gentlemen, please raise your glass to my best friend and his beautiful new wife. Here's to sharing a lifetime together filled with love, happiness and adventure.